Hello and welcome to the Pickup WNBA podcast. I'm your host, Cathryn Eicher.
And I'm your other host, Freddie Rivas. What's up? What's good? Thank you so much for listening and following us on all of our social media accounts at the Pickup WNBA podcast, Twitter, TikTok, not Twitter, sorry, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, formerly Twitter, but we barely care about that
We're
anymore.
off Twitter now.
Yeah, we're off Twitter. Dang, Cathryn, holy schnackamos. We got a lot of fucking shit to talk about.
It's the first time we have ever had a draft and free agency in the same week. And maybe the first time that will, or maybe the last time that will ever happen.
First and only. Before we get rolling, I want to shout out Delano, who is a creator of the Fan Wire podcast, who had me represent the tempo for a mock draft. It was awesome. Lots of good WNBA content on there. I really suggest going back there just for like the shits and the giggles and the Chicago Sky slander. And it was really awesome to just like talk with other like women's basketball heads and W fans, and really a lot of good discussion. And I think for people like me and you who are W first, college second, it was awesome to share the stage with some folks who like really deeply know college ball. And it was great draft prep for me. So yeah, well, I want to shout him out. Also want to say Alexander, who's from Quebec City, who's also known as Reese's Pieces in
Reese's. Yeah. We love Reese's Pieces.
Yeah, but okay, here's a little funny thing. Alexander told me, Alexander was Reese's Pieces in our fantasy league last year, which we're going to do again, which is the reason I'm bringing this up. But then we did a college March Madness, and there was Reese's Pieces, not Alexander.
Whoa.
So he let me know that someone jumped on that name.
Wow.
Anyhow, it's a good name.
It's a popular pun.
It's a popular pun.
You know.
Anyways, want to shout him out.
But we know Alexander was the original Reese's Pieces of this realm. But new Reese's Pieces, we welcome you too.
You're honestly pretty great, and you almost won the bracket.
You almost won the bracket. Yeah, also that's hilarious. I did assume they were the same person.
Me too.
Amazing.
And shout out Quebec City. Shout out Alexander.
Yes. You know, it's one of my like vacation dreams.
Quebec City.
Like I've actually never been to Quebec City. I want to go to Quebec City, but then I also want to go. I forgot the name of the town. It's like an hour outside of Quebec City, but you can go on a boat and go whale watching.
Yeah, I mean it's right close to the St. Lawrence River.
Yeah. So it's like that's like one of like the things I really want to do. I want to go whale watching.
Well, I'm about to turn 40, and I was thinking about going to Quebec City for my birthday, but I didn't plan it. But instead, I am doing a boat party on the Toronto Harbor, and Cathryn, you better be there, June 6th.
Oh, for a second, I was like, "Am I invited?" Of course, I'll be there. I'll definitely be there. That's so exciting! Oh my god, a boat party. That's amazing.
Right? It's gonna be a big moment for me. But guess who also just had a big moment? All of the players in who got drafted in the WNBA and the free agents. But I mean, like, let's start with
literally the whole league had a moment. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's start with the draft first. Fun draft, I will say. A lot of people going in a different order than what was predicted earlier in the year. Like this was a year where like the mock draft went through a lot of changes. Like Lauren Betts was leading for a long time, fell to 4th, which I didn't anticipate happening, but happy for the Mystics to have her. AZ Fud goes number 1. Freddie, where do you want to start?
I think you started with the most interesting thing, which is that there wasn't a consensus number 1.
Right.
And I feel like for us and our podcast, we have really come into a league that had a super clear consensus,
Mm.
right? Aaliyah Boston, there was no other
Yeah,
way that was
no
gonna go.
question, yeah.
Caitlin Clark after Paige decided to go back to UConn, there
Mhm.
was no question. Paige,
No
there was no
question.
question. This year, it was nothing but questions, and I think for a long time, it sort of was like, okay, like, AZ's in there and, like, likely, but, um, Awa Fam was right in the mix for a while.
Mhm.
Some people had Olivia Miles, Lauren Betts,
Mhm.
and yeah, there was I think those are really the major names, but on top of that, I think what threw this draft into a really fun place is this mix of best player available and need.
Mhm.
And then you had some funky stuff happening, like the Lynx drafting second,
I
which
know.
which is just that's just like that doesn't happen in most leagues. Like it's not the team that goes to the WNBA finals and almost wins generally is not going to draft second. So like that there was a lot of that stuff and it made everything really predictable unpredictable. On top of that, wait, sorry. I just said the Lynx were in the finals. They were in
Yes.
the semis. The year
Semis,
before
yeah.
they were in the finals.
Yes,
But
yes, yes.
but yeah, they've
But
I
e
think
but to still be in the semifinals and have a second pick is wild.
yes, and to basically, be have such a dominant year where before Aces went on that run, they looked like a lock to win the regular season and run
Mhm.
away with the title. And like, man, I thought Nafisa was going to win MVP for a while, right?
Oh,
So like,
I mean, we all know how long I was on that train.
yeah, like I
Yeah.
think it just yeah the um. But anyways, for a team of that nature to have the second overall pick, and on top of that, this draft being so deep, 2 expansion teams, really 3 when you think about Golden State. This is still their
Mhm,
expansion draft. Like
mhm.
Golden State drafted 7th, and only next year's draft is gonna be the first time that Golden State gets an organic draft, like, based on how they place.
Right.
So, yeah.
I want I just speaking of Minnesota, I'm really excited for Olivia Miles to be coached by Cheryl Reeve because she's already, like, such a smart point
Mhm.
guard. Like, I just feel like the IQ is gonna be off the charts. Like, I just feel like and then we saw how Cheryl Reeve, like, works with so many, like, advanced metrics and, analytics and stuff like that. It just there's a nerdy part of me that's just really excited for her to be on that team.
Yeah. I agree. I think Miles is gonna absolutely kill it. I'm gonna shout out another listener, Bryce here, and
Hi, Bryce.
maybe this is the international person in me, but, both of those teams are gonna regret not taking Awa Fam first.
Oh,
And I
yeah, I mean, yeah, Bryce has been on the Awafam train, for a long time. Look, I am inclined to agree because she is a young center who is phenomenal, and it's like, why wouldn't you want that on your team? It's like such a, like, it's such a she's this, like, basketball unicorn that everybody seems to be after, and is kind of like the present and future of this modern style of basketball.
mhm.
So, I do think that, there could be a lot of truth to that. I will say even though, we'll talk a little bit about, Seattle in a minute, but, like, Awufam and Dominique Malonga together,
Wild. If you're s yeah, if
like, that's
yeah,
kind of
again,
amazing. Like,
we'll get
I didn't think those 2 would end up together.
we will get to the storm for sure. And those 2 is just like such a what it's insane that you have those 2 players and they're 19 and 20 years old.
Like,
But,
it creates a whole new identity for the Storm. But,
oh,
I mean, I anyway, Yes, shout out to Bryce. You could very well be right, and if you are, we will remember that you made this call so long ago.
Yeah, and I think a lot of uh a lot of friends have been asking me like, "How are the tempo? How are the tempo? What's going on?" And of course, we'll talk about this on the
That'll be on Tempo Check. Everybody tune in to Tempo
yeah,
Check to hear
yeah,
all about our thoughts on the tempo.
tempo plug. But uh one thing I keep saying to people about the W is, especially if you're an NBA fan, you have to remember a time where the the center was the dominant figure
Mhm,
in
mhm,
in the NBA, and the W still has that. If you wanna be a contender, you need Stewie, you need
mhm,
Asia.
mhm.
You know, you need that dominant big, or at least some sort of version of that. Like,
Yeah, I mean,
obviously
they're like power forwards, but still, they're dominant bigs that are versatile and, like, yeah.
yes. And I think, like, it's just of course, there's just such good guard play, and, I think Nafisa is obviously, like, an exception, and she isn't that,
Mhm.
um, she's not that tall, she's 6'1", but, like, I think in general, that's been a big archetype of this current time. So, yeah, anyways, to think about Awafam, to think about, Dominique Malonga, like, having 2 of those players is you're really in, like, if I'm Seattle, I'm like, "Okay, this is rough right now, but we have a future dynasty on our hands."
Yeah, a bright future for sure. And to that point, it is also, to me, a bit surprising that Lauren Betts went at number 4.
I agree.
Right?
Yeah.
To, like, to just to that exact point. But with also that being said, the Mystics now having Lauren Betts, Kiki Iriafen, and Sonia Citron, that's a cool trio. That's a really cool trio.
Yeah, the Mystics are a fun team. I think in general, this year is gonna be filled with it's just there's no consistency. Like, of course, some teams have consistency,
Mhm.
and I think we'll have some repeating contenders with the Aces and the Liberties, but, there really is, I think, nothing that we assume about the league is necessarily true. Really, it's gonna be about who gels, how fast they gel, what's the new look. I got a couple quick hits.
Mhm.
Uh, Flage, I thought sorta went a little bit late. We'll be talking about Kiki Rice so much in the Tempo pod, so I'll skip that, but, I thought Flage might go to
F No,
Toronto.
Flage fell. Let's yeah, she fell in the draft order.
Yeah,
Like,
like, I
she
didn't
was
I didn't think Gabrielle Hawkes was going 5th.
yeah, that was a surprise. For sure. And I was trying to think about why Flage may have fallen in the draft order. And the only thing I could really think of is that she is a volume shooter, and maybe that's not something every team wants. Like, you know what I mean? Like for somebody
Mhm.
to have the ball that much. But I also feel like this is also very like team dependent. And this comes down to how coachable she is.
Right.
Right? Which, like, I have no reason to believe she isn't coachable or anything. I am not suggesting that. But I just mean, like, her experience in LSU does not necessarily have to translate to her experience in the WNBA. So I thought that was kind of interesting. This is just my theory as to why she might have fallen. If you have another theory, let us know. I'd be very curious if any of our listeners have other thoughts on this. But yeah, I mean, another friend of mine said to me, you know, because she's a rapper, as we all know, and she's very big on her music, promoting her music. And then somebody said to me, you know, I want my key players to for basketball to be their number one thing. And she was kind of like on the draft like red
Slander.
carpet, just being like, I'm here to remind people I do both. And it's like you have to remind people.
I love that.
But in my opinion, I've decided that I am just pro women being extra now and just doing the most and being the
For
most. Like,
sure,
it's
because
not like
like
that is not my personal. opinion, but it could be the opinions of other people who are scouting her. I don't
For
know.
sure, for
Just
sure. I
throwing it
mean,
out there.
I mean, there's a lot going on there, but I still remember me and you being like, that's weird that Angel Reese isn't drafted second overall." And everyone was like,
Oh my
"It's."
god, that she was drafted 7th, we'll go on about that forever. That she fell all the way to 7th, yeah.
And that draft also stacked,
Stacked,
right?
yeah.
All the people in between her and Caitlin's great players doing well. I think we're gonna see a big year from Cameron Brink, as you've said. But yeah, it in
Mhm.
general, this draft, I think a lot of teams got what they wanted. I in classic draft form, feel like I guess I became, like, unreasonably high on Tanaya Latson because we were covering her, and I was like, "This is a rookie of the year candidate." And I was telling all the people, like, "The Tempo should draft her." She went 20th,
Yeah, I was like,
right?
I remember you were like,
Mm,
"Oh, I hope the Tempo get her," and I was like, "Freddie, like, I just checked the latest mock drafts, and she's fallen to, like, 11th or 12th, and then she went all the way at 20th, that's crazy."
but at a certain point, she was, like, 5, 6, or 7 or something,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
again, like,
She was top 10 at one point for sure.
her college profile, like, being like one of the highest scorers in the NCAA, and then joining South Carolina and being the second leading scorer and um making it to the finals. I'm like, I don't really see what she did to lose so much value. And if you're the Sparks and you got her at 20th, damn,
Yeah, it's awesome for
that's
them.
wild. Like, I really think that you pretty huge hit, like, and I'm actually just looking, I didn't realize, but that was the Sparks. The Sparks didn't have a first round pick.
Right.
So the Sparks' first pick, was, um, yeah, was Latson at 20th. So if I'm a Sparks fan, I'm like, "Damn."
Yeah. Uh, I agree. I mean, for a second round pick, I don't know if you can do better. So, I mean, a fun draft overall. I mean, this is the fun thing about the draft because this will be a really fun one to revisit in a few years and see like maybe that could be some like off season content for us. Um,
I have to say a funny moment of the draft. Just
oh
like,
please. Oh
just
yeah,
a
yeah, yeah. I feel like I already know what you're gonna say.
okay, wait, can you just guess what I'm gonna say? Because I feel like you know me pretty well.
Is it Flage's younger brother?
That was funny and cute.
Oh,
But
okay.
this is more funny, like, as in, like, I always like to think about things as a performer,
Mm-hmm.
and, with my experience kind of, like, just being in that atmosphere, like, "Oh, man, this is, like, somebody messed up, and this is funny," is immediately everyone being, like, uncomfortable with, like, the audio echo. So,
Oh, yeah,
anytime
yeah,
someone
yeah.
said something, they'd be like, "Whoa!" And they'd, like, look around, and, like, we're totally thrown by it, and, like, already by the time that, Olivia Miles was being interviewed by Holly Rowe, and, she said something and then, like, looked around like, "Whoa, that's weird to hear your voice, like, reverberate like that." Holly Rowe was, like,
Mm,
already so over it that she literally said, like, "Yeah, it's weird. We need to get over it." Like, and this is, like, this second draft pick where I'm like, it's
listen,
early in the night for you to be like, "Stop complaining about the sound, Olivia."
Holly
Like,
Rowe holds it down, like, let's be
yeah,
real.
yeah,
She's always
she's a
holding it
legend.
down. Maybe we'll get to meet them, when they're in Toronto, Holly Rowe, Ryan Rucco, Rebecca Lobo. I'll die, I'll be, like, freaking out. I'm gonna really
I
geek
will
out
lose
over
it.
them.
Yeah, I'll geek out over them big time.
I might geek out over them just as much as the players, to be
Oh,
honest.
yeah. Oh my god. If I see Ryan Rucco, first of all, putting him in a headlock. You know what I mean? And then I'll be like, "Yo, dude,
Like
our
Tiana
son has."
Taylor
Yeah,
and Paul
"Our son
Thomas
has the same
Anderson.
name." And he'll be like, "Security."
And they might be similar in age too.
Similar in age.
Yeah. Amazing stuff. Okay, yeah, let us know your thoughts on the draft if you have any other wild opinions you'd like to share with us. Hit us up on socials. Okay, let's go into free agency. Freddie and I decided to do this as like free agency winners losers based on teams. But first, Freddie, I'd like to start off by saying a lot of players re-upped with their teams. Like, I
Mhm,
think we and a lot of other, WNBA media anticipated a lot more movement, like a lot more bigger players, like moving teams. And
mhm,
so many people re-upped with their teams. Like, we were like trying to predict like, Enrique Gumbawale. We were trying to predict like a few people. We got Seattle right. Like we figured like that was the end of that Seattle era. That turned out to be correct. But even like, John Quell Jones, like New York found a way to retain John Quell Jones. Like I think all these teams did everything they could to retain their best players for the exception of a few, which we'll get into in our winners and losers. But I just wanted to start off by saying like, wow, so many people stayed, considering it was 80% of the league.
yes, I think that was a surprise for sure, but now reflecting, I think there was a stability angle to it,
Mm,
and it
mm.
was so fast that players kinda wanted to get their bag. Something that surprised
Sure.
me,
Mhm.
right, like this huge, Asia biggest contract
Yes, congrats to
ever,
Asia, yeah.
that just came through, and I will say I expected more long-term contracts, but when I saw that Kelsey Plum signing, I realized something, and that's players are doing that dance where if they wanna maximize their earnings and extend that payday into something bigger, they might pull a Kelsey Plum and do a one-year contract, knowing the cap is going to rise
Mm,
every year. So if you're Kelsey Plum, you're saying, "I don't want that 3-year max," or whatever it is. I wanna sign. I mean, she's sort of different because she took under 1,000,000 to help team build,
mm.
but in general, I think there were a significant amount of players who signed one-year deals in hopes of renegotiating again next year, sort of deferring their long-term commitments, which was a bit of a surprise to me because I thought everyone was just gonna take as much money as they could right away,
Yeah.
but I think there's also a show of faith of this league isn't going anywhere and it's gonna get bigger and bigger. So I don't
Mhm.
wanna be Asia Wilson. I wanna like next year, there like Asia won't be the highest paid player in the W as far as like her $5,000,000 contract. Like already next year, someone's gonna have a $6,000,000 contract
Well, when Caitlin Clark and Paige Beckers are off their rookie deals, like, I think we'll see some record-breaking deals there too.
for sure.
Um, yeah, okay, so let's get into the free agency
Let's do
winners
it.
and losers. Freddie, let's start with you. Do you wanna start with your winner, or do you wanna start with your loser?
Let's do
I don't know why I
loser.
said it like that, I'm sorry.
Loser. Let's
Rewind.
do loser because my loser I think is pretty easy,
Yeah,
and my winner is a bit of a hot take. So my
okay.
loser is Seattle.
Right.
Pardon me. They just picked, you know, Awafam and they have Malanga, so they still have Ezzy, right? And I think in that sense,
And
they
they traded for Flage.
they traded for Flage.
Yeah.
But I think if you're Seattle, you have a future. Like things are gonna be okay. You have Dolson, you have Heidemann, you have players, but you've lost a bunch of like ridiculously talented players. So if we're doing the free agency thing, you have to pick a team that lost Williams, Diggins, Sykes, Agumake,
Mhm.
and more. You have to pick them as losers. Mitchell,
For sure.
Wheeler,
I think
they
that's
just
like a
lost so
conse
much.
that's just a consensus, I think, like I said, we felt after last year's playoffs that it was gonna be the end of that era, and, to Seattle's credit, like, after, Sue Bird, Stewie, Jewel Lloyd leaving the team, they did their best to stay relevant, to stay at the top, to not be in a rebuilding phase, and they were able to do that, I would say, somewhat successfully, right? I mean, they were in the playoffs both years,
Mhm.
but they just weren't able to get far enough. And these are vets that are, looking to win, looking to get paid, et cetera, et cetera. I think the writing was on the wall in Seattle, and now they are in a full rebuild and they have really exciting young talent. So I think yeah, if you're a Storm fan, like we said, there's a bright future to look forward to. But this year, you'll be looking at next year's draft if you're
Yeah. And
Seattle. Yeah,
and lots of cap space too.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, and then your winner, hot take. You said,
Winner, Chicago Sky. So,
wow, yeah, this is gonna be polarizing. I already know.
yeah, so literally doing this, like, this mock draft,
Mm-hmm.
me along with everyone just, like, ripping on the sky as you do, right?
Mm-hmm.
Poor ownership, things are bad, blah, blah, blah.
Mm-hmm.
I think, the Reese trade, we talked about it last week, ripping on them as well. Here's the deal, though. They used one of those picks, to get Rakea Jackson,
Mm-hmm.
which is massive in and of itself, right? They brought back Sloot, which is like, sort of whatever. But then Azare Stevens, $1 million contract, which is really good values, 3-year contract. Skylar Diggins, uh, under $1 million for 2 years, which is
Mm-hmm.
absolutely fantastic. Fantastic. Dejanay Carrington. And then they still have Cardoso, Rachel Bainham, JC Sheldon, Haley Van Lith. This is a playoff team, straight up. So they're going from being one of the jokes of the league to being a playoff team with a decent draft pick next year.
This
Like,
is interesting. I see them more as a fringe playoff team,
I mean,
personally.
to my earlier point, I think we will see how things gel. But I guess what tipped me over recently, there was a like a semi-viral interview from their GM, and someone was asking him, like, about this team and like why are they why are they doing win now? And he was like, "Hey, we've had 2 really, really bad years, and it's been rough, and I think my motivation is I have Skylar Diggins on my team, and
Right.
I'm gonna surround her with winners because otherwise I don't wanna talk to her. I'm gonna be afraid of her." And
They
I
should be, they should be.
I just really love that answer. Like, and I think that sort of tipped it over, and I feel like as a mindset, bringing in a winner like Skylar, like, he's right. And how that actually plays out on the court, I'm not sure. But this is like those are the players I named, those are vets. No one's developing, right? I mean, sorry, like Cardoso, Jackson obviously are developing, but they're already good players. And like
Yeah, they are good players.
Azari
I
Stevens, Diggins, and Dejanay, and that's like they have a team. They really do have a team.
I mean, I love this as a hot take. I don't necessarily disagree in that, yes, they got better, and also too, I mean, it's such a different team now that it's gonna be different culturally,
Mhm.
and we'll see how that shapes out. But for me to actually believe in the Chicago Sky, it's like, I'll believe it when I see it, is sort of my mentality
Fair,
with
fair.
the team. But, yeah, I look at this roster, you see playoff team, which I think is fair. I see more fringe playoff team. I think I'm a huge Skylar Diggins fan. I love Skylar Diggins, but I think in the past, we've seen that her personality can be a bit polarizing,
Mhm.
and we don't know which way it's gonna go.
Yeah,
That's
that's
what I'll
fair.
say.
I'm also like I'm a big Rakea Jackson fan as well. Like, I
Mhm.
think she's a solid player, and to me, it's not so much like like when you think about winners and losers, a winner can be a team that is going from a contender to like a favorite, or like a playoff lock to like winning a playoff round. This team to me is going from the joke of the league to absolutely this team's just not a joke anymore.
Hmm.
Like this team is like you're not going into Chicago, and it's not Chicago's not an easy
Look,
win.
it's not a question we're gonna answer today, but, uh, who's the new joke of the league then?
Hmm.
That's something for us to think about maybe for a season preview situation, right?
That's a
Because
good
it's like
question.
as if it's not the Chicago Sky, eh, the Mystics got better, the Wings are extremely relevant for the first time in a
Hmm.
long time.
It's a good question. Who like looks well, yeah, wait, well, so who's your
I mean,
loser?
okay, so I'll do mine. So my loser is not the biggest loser of the free agency, but just for the sake of picking one, I'm going with the Phoenix Mercury because they lost Satu, and
Mhm.
that's really significant for them. And I really feel like it's the difference between being a finals team and not. And I don't know how they make up for that. Like it's just they're still going to be a good team. They still have Kalia Copper, they still have Alyssa Thomas, Duana Bonner. I mean, as much as I love Alyssa Thomas and Duana Bonner, they're a year older. I think Duana Bonner is like really at the tail end of her career at this point.
Bonner's gonna be on the boat with me, turning 40. Okay? Legit.
Well, okay, so
I
this
think
is
Bonner
so
is
this is
40.
my point. And I just feel like, I'm a big believer in having great centers on your team. Great centers are hard to come by, and it's a big loss. It's just a big loss for Phoenix, and I don't know how they make up for it. To their credit, they did resign like Sammy Whitcomb. Uh, like they still have a good team, but it's just not um they're not going to be an underdog finals team in my opinion, and I think that's a shame when you have really great vets that are, like, near the end of their career. And the fact that everybody else brought it back but her is just a big it's just a blow.
Yeah.
That's all.
They need Diana Taurasi.
At center, um, I mean, hey, even Brittany Griner, who we love, is not the same. I mean, she's also, towards the end of her career, now in the sun. But anyways, my winner so I was doing some
Sorry,
research.
that's
What?
our answer. The Sun's the joke of the league. I'm so sorry, but
Oh, yeah, of course. Yeah, 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 yeah,
so sorry, but the
obviously. We
Sun are gonna
forgot.
be
I almost forgot they existed,
because
honestly.
they're also in a holding pattern until they go to Houston. I'm so sorry. I love our Sun listeners. I'm so sorry what's happening to you, but yeah, it's gonna be a rough year.
Yeah, we love our listeners, and we want every team to do well, but it is what it is. My winner, I have a bit of an asterisk to this, and I'll tell you why. So I'm going with the Liberty. And that's because, the Liberty have so much talent that we were like, how are they going to be able to pay everybody? But they were able to pay, Stewie and Sabrina, and they're
And
able to,
more.
and more. They were able to bring back Jonquel Jones, which is very significant. But my asterisk is the fact that as of this recording, okay, which is late Wednesday, April 15th, Natasha Cloud remains unsigned. Isn't that crazy?
Yes. There's still yeah, there's still some signings that need to happen out there for sure.
Emma Mieseman is also unsigned as of this recording. But also, to my point about Phoenix, the fact that the Liberty have Satu really, really pushes them forward back into the conversation. They also re-signed Benijah Laney Hamilton. They have Rebecca Allen as well. Like I am like the Liberty remain stacked in a way that we didn't know if it would be possible for them. I'm gonna miss Natasha Cloud on the Liberty if she goes. I just felt like she was such a great fit there.
Mhm.
But, yeah, like, it's not gonna be like the year when we had the Aces Liberty rivalry when they were the clear top 2 and, like, the whole
Mhm.
season was just waiting for them to battle it out. The season isn't going to be that because there's a lot of great teams at the top now, but the Liberty are so stacked with talent that it is going to be hard to contend with them, and I think, we're not doing, season preview stuff yet, but we're gonna have to seriously look at the Liberty as a team, like, are they gonna win it all?
Well, 1,000%. Like, I think as it stands, to me, Atlanta looks like they're gonna take a big, big
So
step
he
up.
Atlanta's gonna take a big step forward.
You
I
know,
think Atlanta is
Indiana.
the I was just gonna say, I think Atlanta and Indiana are top tier teams in this league, and I think the 4 of them, so those 2, the Aces and the Liberty, are going to be, like, really and I guess the Lynx as well. Like, there's just so many teams that are just at the top that are really going to be duking it out, and it's gonna be tough, but fun. From a fan perspective, a lot of fun. And you got, like, the wings being, like, interesting again for the first time in a long time, which
Yeah.
which excites me finally. But yeah, a lot of teams are just gonna be, like, top tier, and, yeah, make for an
And you'll
exciting
you'll you'll be
season.
getting a preview from us, next week because that's how fast everything moves right
No,
now.
well, it will not be next week.
No,
You're
it
not
won't.
even here next week.
I'm not here next week, but I just mean, like, the
We're gonna have a
season.
guest, everyone, don't worry, don't
This
stress.
this whole thing is so condensed, it's so insane. A part
But
of me
it
is like,
will
"Well, it will slow down when the season starts." I'm like, "No, it won't.
no.
This is wild."
Well, we could do a season preview on the 29th or May 6th.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. We'll
We'll
we'll we'll
figure
be
it out.
doing yeah, we'll be doing some season preview stuff for sure.
Yeah, well, the last thing I'll say, about free agency, not a bit outside of our winners or losers, but somebody you could consider a winner is the Sparks. I mean, they got Nneka Ogwumike. I think they got a bit older, a bit more experienced. They're obviously going for it. It's hard for me to say right now where they're gonna be because I kinda thought they were gonna be a little bit better last year, but they have such great talent with Dearica Hamby and Kelsey Plum and Cameron Brink healthy for a full season. Like, I think the Sparks could be a serious, X factor this season. Definitely like, I would say a mid-tier playoff team, possibly, we'll see how it goes. But yeah.
Yeah,
Do we
very,
have
very good.
anything to say about Balloon Gate? I don't really it was funny, but I don't really care. Like the balloons that the Lynx had for NECA, and then it was like
Oh, no, that was good. That's funny. I'll
it's
say that.
fun. It's fun. I'm fine with it. Love that for us. Okay, Freddie, I believe it's fun question time.
Fun question time. Here we go. We've seen, big money, big deserved money to the point of Holly Rowe crying, during the draft. It was awesome,
Yeah.
because it's really, really special.
Yeah,
Uh,
everyone's becoming a millionaire. It's amazing.
it's incredible. Catherine,
Mhm.
what would you do if you became a millionaire?
With $1,000,000.
Yeah, let's say, like, if you got if you got a million.
So we live in an expensive city, right? Toronto is not a cheap city, especially from like a real estate perspective and stuff like that. Like every home in the city is over $1,000,000, at least inside the city proper. But I think okay, there's two fun things that I'm gonna say. One is I would get a loft. It's my dream to live in a loft. So I'd get a really cool loft.
Love it.
And and then the other thing I would do is more of a splurge, because I think this question's really about the splurge, is I have been getting a lot in my algorithms, and then there's some, research that I've done. I'll never be able to do this, but that is travel to Antarctica.
Ooh, juicy. I like that.
It's so cool. I mean, it's really expensive. You need like minimum 10 grand to do it. Um, but like you fly basically to Patagonia, Argentina, and then from there you are on a boat. And obviously I would want to do this the fanciest, most comfortable way possible because it's not the most comfortable trip because you got to sail through the Drake Passage, which if you don't know is one of the roughest seas in all of Earth. But then you get to Antarctica and you get to see penguins and you get to eat with scientists, and it's just like the
What are
coolest
you
thing.
eating, scientists?
I mean, no, but I mean, like, it's just such a wild, fun experience to be able to have. So that's what I do. It's
Um,
a vacation I could never realistically afford.
Shout out the Werner Herzog documentary. You ever watched it?
No.
It's all about going to Antarctica. You gotta check it
Oh,
out.
will do.
Werner Herzog. Uh, okay, $1 million. Let me
Well,
just
I
let me.
really want to hear what you're gonna do, Freddie.
It's not gonna be as wild as you think, but
Oh.
I'm gonna chop it up and just go for it here.
Mhm.
$500,000. Bang to my mom. Don't worry about money anymore.
Aw. And
$250,000.
I'm going to Antarctica. I
Oh,
haven't given my mom
so
any.
am I. Listen to me. So am I. $250,000. $250,000 for my son later.
Yes.
And the other $250,000, they're put in like a sort of like a savings travel account. So I'm using that money to travel for the rest of my life. And
Wow.
I know that for
You're not
some
gonna put
people,
more down on your house?
no, no, because it's like I'm just
I
chipping
love
away
it.
at that anyways, and that's
Right,
just what it
right,
is.
right.
Like I feel like to me, you said it. This question's about the splurge.
Mhm, mhm. It's very sweet, though. It says a lot about both of us. You thought of your family first, and I thought about real estate. I would help my family, don't get me wrong.
Yeah, right.
No, I would. I mean, there's only 3 of us, really, like, it's my
You
mom, my
call your
brother,
brother
and
a
me,
shrimp,
and my nephew. Happy 3rd birthday to my nephew, Jaden.
Jaden.
So there's not too many people to take care of is my point. So it's very doable for me to do that, and I would. We're good like that.
Yeah.
Fun. Congrats to all our new millionaires in the league and soon to be millionaires. Really, really, it's really great to see. We'll wrap it up there. Everybody, tempo check. There will be an episode of Tempo Check this week to talk about the draft, to talk about Kiki Rice, to talk about the roster, like the rest of the roster, Kia Nurse, all of it. So stay tuned for that. Thank you, everyone, for listening and tuning in. As always, please remember to like, subscribe, leave a review if you have a moment to do so. Tell your friends. Tell your friends. We're here. We're doing it. We're putting out 1 to 2 shows every week. It's wild stuff. We're at events. Last night I was at the Tempo. They called it Before the Bounce. It was like an event for season ticket holders and for media to watch the unveiling of the court and things like that. So I'm going to talk about that a bit on Tempo Check as well. Yeah, thank you again, everyone, and we'll catch you next time.
Peace, everybody. Thank you.
Bye.
See ya.